Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Lockyer.
My name is Mr. Lockyer, Stephen Lockyer. Stephen Lockyer in normal life. It's really nice to meet so many people that I've only had conversations with online. If we haven't met before, I can also be Archie the inventor. It ticks a lot of boxes, dodgy hair, check, glasses, check, unnaturally red cheeks, check, repressed homosexuality, Philip's a few parts on. No glasses. One of the children in was asked me if I was Mr. Tumble in December. And through tears I said no. I should have actually gone yes. That was countered this week by a child come out to me, reception child, and saying, "What are you?" Right now, who are you? What are you? Is quite brutal. I didn't. I'm not that. Little Dark Kids, that was one at university that I looked at. Rough Gus from Recess, does anyone recognise that one? Yeah. A various range of guises, get his cheeks in check. And this is something I saw at Beck's, that someone said looks a little bit like me. I'm assuming it says Kurt. You're not still streaming, are you?
Yeah.
So, until yesterday I was working at school. Right, so that's my head of choice at the moment, primary. We use 8 colours. You want to use more than 8 colours. 8 colours. Octo marking, I call it. This is how I mark. I take the green. What's it? Pink, and green. I don't even know what it means anymore. But tickle pink, that's it. What an idiot we are. And I take it so that it makes life a bit faster for me. I'm only going to talk for the length of time that a laminator takes to warm up, so approximately 40 minutes. There's nothing, I mean, the time you spend waiting for the residents, and you don't do anything else, you just stand in front of it, heat up, please! And then what's the cold setting? Do you want to recreate it as the fish counter? Have you ever used the cold setting of a laminator? Possibly the worst time that you have a laminating situation is where you start warming it up, it's too far, don't get a drink. You leave your laminating sheets on the side. You go you go on and you come back and someone has taken them. And you feel like saying to them, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. But if you want laminating sheets, I've got none. But I have got skills. A particular set of skills. Skills I've honed over a long career. If you give me back my laminating sheets, that'll be the end of it. If you don't, I will pursue you. I will find you. And I will kill you. I only had to say that twice. So that's the thing that we use. There's lots of daft things about primary marking, the insane amount of marking that we have to do. And when you read the tweets from secondary people saying, oh, we've introduced a completely no marking policy at our school, it's fantastic, you think, well, how can you get away with that? We can't get away with that at all. I'm not going to make constant digs at secondary people. There's teach verses as well that we can attack. There are lots of pluses to working in primary. This, for most of us, is our breakfast. I work in a school with 600 children, which is fantastic because the first things I ask them is, what's your name? When's your birthday? Who's your favourite teacher? We have these on special occasions. There's nothing better than a teacher having a birthday because you think, right, we've done a healthy eating talk with the children, they've all brought their healthy snacks in. Whose birthday is it? It's parents and cake in the staff room. And I think that we can get dragged down the conversations that we're having in the panel, can drag us down and get us into a negative sense, a negative perspective. Perspective is really, really important. we can lose perspective sometimes and lose sight of the fact being surrounded by negativity. And I try to think of myself as a good person and try to do good things. And a couple of years ago, I was standing near a petrol station, and there was a man in front of me with a petrol can in his hand. And this is one of my worst nightmares. I've got 4 children. My worst nightmare is running out of fuel and then having to march the children up a country road trying to get petrol from the petrol station. So I tapped on his shoulder and said, "Would you like a lift?" And he looked at me like I was mad and said, "No, it's fine, thanks." And I said, "Are you sure? I can give you a lift to your car." He said, "No, it's absolutely fine." And then he paid for his petrol, and then he walked to his car, which was in the petrol station, which had a lawnmower in the back, with a petrol can in the front door. Now, I've worked out both sides of the story, but he must have gone home and said to his wife, "This nutter is 10 yards." And I think that if we don't see both sides of the story, the picture isn't complete for us. It's really important to get that complete picture. This is a meme that drifts around every so often. Schools are like prisons. And on the list, there's a whole load of things that schools have, a whole load of features that prisons have, and they correlate. And it's really bad quality because I swiped it from what's the picture on pinball thing? Interesting, thank you. Thank you myself. Yeah, we can say lots of things about schools I like this. I think that the way that we teach children is completely artificial. We're going to teach you to love reading by sitting in a plastic chair and talking to a mum for 5 minutes of a book you don't want to read. It seems dumb. But this is a very negative stance that you can have, and I think you can relate schools to anything, really, with a positive or negative. You can relate schools to yogurt if you needed to. That's what I did. Schools like yogurt. Wide variety of schools. Not necessarily in the same schools. Life culture. We have a life culture in our schools. We have good schools have a really good living culture. It's like when you're looking for a house, looking to buy a house, not to rob. You go and you just know. And I love going to schools where you just know there's a buzz about the place. And if you're working at a school where you don't get that buzz through the door, leave. It's really, really important because it's not worth it. I can attest to that. I worked 6 years in school where the second day I thought, I'm really not happy. We didn't have that flow. You can have a great start to the day, and nothing beats a bad mood and 30 young faces looking saying, "Teach us stuff." It encourages healthy habits apart from the Friday mornings with cake. And probiotic literally means for life. It would be great to have a school that's probiotic. That attitude. Understanding respect depends on the receiver. I think that's really, really important. And I think that what I'm about to talk about is showing our values in action so that the children can pick up those values and echo them. That's just a bit fun. Optimus Prime, right? No, just me. So a little bit about myself. I worked for the previous 11 years in the independent sector, and I've made the jump now to state school. Lots of things that I liked about the independent sector, lots of things I didn't like about the independent sector. The idea of schools being for profit, hopefully that's not happening in the state. Yeah, and I was a deputy head at my last independent school, a small school of 200 pupils, and I was deeply, deeply unhappy. So I made the jump, as it were. I joined the dark side, or left the dark side, according to which version of this you want to talk about. So now I work in a London school, 600 pupils, as I said, and it's completely out of my comfort zone. It's completely out of my comfort zone. After teaching for 16 years, despite looking 12, I've got to that not arrogant stage, but a confident stage that I thought, I can do this teaching stuff. And I've had to relearn it again. And that was a real jump for me, and completely out of my comfort zone, and that was exciting, because I had to learn on my feet really, really quickly. I started in November, taking an maternity leave cover, and so I've been there 5 months now, and I realised that I had to create my classroom really quickly. It's really strange. If you've ever joined a class halfway through, all the systems are in place, and and even if you do a cover for someone else, you try something out, and the children will say, "Our teacher doesn't do it that way," like a little challenge to you. So I had to set these things up, and I hugely believe in class managers. These things that we believe in and echo everything that we do when we work with the children and speak to the children. So the two I came up with for my class was about the things that I've been thinking about. The first was making beautiful work. And the children now use this phrase a huge amount, and they understand what it means. And I'll explain what it means in a moment. But making beautiful work. It's not about tick boxing, it's about making something that's beautiful. We talk about anything being beautiful. And also inviting them to learn. And this is more research-based. But having that, I mean, what's fantastic is this morning talked about us doing things. And we do that in primary, don't we? Okay, so now we're going to do phonics. And it's done to the children. Do we invite the children to that lesson? I think it's really, really important. And Hattie's explored that in some of his work. So, making beautiful work. I heard about this from, I've got the idea for this, from Peter Billow, who's Pete Jones. He's an secondary arts teacher in the Channel Islands. And he does heavy work, project-based learning. And what he does with his students, his secondary students, fantastic projects. And they all have an end goal, which is an outside audience. I think that's really important. There are things that we encourage them to do their best for, but then stay in their books, in these paper graveyards that sit in exercise books on the trays. If they're lucky, it goes on a display in their classroom. And so he had the remit that every single piece of work that they did was critically appraised by the public. So he has things set up at every single bus stop in the Channel Islands. He has public exhibitions and galleries, takes over galleries. Not, let's set up some boards in our hall and like parents think. He hires a gallery that the students working there. What ownership do you have as a student if you're going to have a parent for an actual art gallery to see your actual art? It's hugely more valuable. If you recognise the right-hand side, top right picture. Yeah, Ron, but that's not Ron Berger, actually. That is Austin's butterfly. And you may have seen the video about it. But what's really interesting is the backstory was done by a 6-year-old in America who was at a school where they also believe in producing beautiful work. And the children every year make something that they sell, and they were making postcards of insects, line drawings of insects. And I think that's fantastic. And this is, I like Austin's butterfly, but this is my personal new favourite. This is Sky's bicycle. It's not as pretty. There's a girl in my class called Sky, and we were talking about making beautiful work and trying harder, never using the word mindset, but actually concepts that the children can understand and grasp and reflect on. And she was trying to spell the word bicycle in her spelling test. She tried 6 times. And in the end, she got it. Now, every single time she's got the right letters in the wrong order. That is almost countdown, isn't it? And I looked at it and I was just filled with joy because she had tried so hard to get that right and she hadn't given up. And I look at that and I think I've probably given up at the 3rd bicycle, but she kept going. And the other thing I love about it is it says the word believe at number 13. Sky's bicycle. She's a legend. And she's got a bicycle, which is really good. So this is what Hattie talks about being invited to learn. The 4 key skills that we need to be invited to learn. And this is for teachers to their pupils. Do you explicitly show warmth? It's good to be warm, good to be a warm person, a warm teacher. But the research shows that actually teachers need to be explicitly warm. They need to show their warmth to their pupils. Is it a warm environment that you create with your personality in the classroom? There needs to be explicit trust, and that involves risk-taking and creativity. Do you offer trust to your children? Do you absolutely exhibit to them a level of trust in their work? Not doubt or lowering down your expectations, but absolute trust that they are going to do their best. Do you have empathy for their learning style? Now that's not learning styles in a much divided way. It's Do some children find it harder to hold from the board, so you move them to the front? Do you move the left-handers to the end of the row so that they're not doing elbow balls with other people? Do you have actual empathy for the way that the children learn? And that's not, if you're not doing that, then you're letting the children suffer. But acknowledging that those children need that help and then showing it explicitly to them. I move you to the front because I know you'll find it really hard to see forward. They then know that you've got empathy to their learning. And finally, positive relationships. And that doesn't mean just being a nice teacher or a good teacher. That means absolutely exhibiting positivity in your lessons, in your approach, in your attitude. And sometimes, with everything we do in primary, we can sometimes lose that bit. We can just have relationships with children. It's about positive relationships because they are so powerful. If you think about a toxic environment in a staff room, is that ever exhibited in a classroom? Even subconsciously. How often have you gone into a classroom at the beginning of the day, feeling dour and down, and someone's cut us up, and you've got that lunch, or anything like that? How often can that energy transfer to children the way that they do the register? Right, let's do the register, do, rather than invite. And I get caught up with this all the time. I would say I'm figuratively speaking at Tigger in the classroom. You can still get down in this group to remind ourselves to make sure that we have these 4 key skills. Oh, that's really poorly cut off. That's from a book called Illuminate by Nancy Duarte. It came out 2 weeks ago. And she is the doyen of presentations. She's got 2 good books on presentations. And this book, Illuminate, is about how to ignite change. And I looked at that diagram and it made perfect sense to me in terms of my journey as a teacher from unhappy comfort, where I didn't have to change but I was unhappy, to discomfort at learning, but total happiness because I was uncomfortable. Does that make sense? It did in my head anyway. So this is the journey that she suggests you go through. You dream. You wish that you weren't in this environment, and you hope for a better place. And that might be in your classroom or in your school now, or your teaching now. Then you make the leap, and that's the scary bit. Yeah? What they call in Friends the fear. Yes, you need the fear. And certainly I had the fear. I left my job with no job to go to because I was so unhappy. I just needed that time out to get my mojo back. The fight. When you lay on the table exactly what you want. That's my mantra. I'll put my mantra down. Now, these are the 2 things. These are going to be the threads that go through everything in my teaching. And I told my TA this, and we talked about it a lot, and explained what beautiful work was. And she bought into it. She's fantastic, and obviously very long suffering. And she got the idea that everything needed to be an invitation to learn, and everything needed to be beautiful in the class. So that means we have ridiculously high expectations of the children. But guess what? They rise to it, and they try so hard. The climb, it's not easy, and you have to win people over. You have to win some parents over, and the children need to be won over. Why do I have to do it again? And getting them to question whether their work is of their greatest effort. The arrival, and then the reading. Now we're always aiming for that arrival, and it was a talk this morning. It was about going forward. Is it yours, Ben?
Yeah.
If you stop still, you start going backwards. And I think that certainly Nancy talks about this being a constant circle. And I was thinking about this the way that my teaching career had gone. When I'd become in stasis and things were dropping down, and how much I've been dreaming and wishing I'd left sooner. But also for the children, it can be quite helpful to dream and not make that leap. So making those mantras and being invited to that is really, really important. So this is a weird segue. It's like a one-show segue. So some of the ways that I have done this is to really make a collegiate atmosphere. And the only way that I can describe this is to give you the concept of an in-joke. An in-joke is absolutely fantastic for the people who are in on the joke and makes everyone else feel excluded. And the best way of getting your class in harmony with you is to make it really, really collegiate. A bit like an in-joke. It's us against them. And I don't want to create that atmosphere in a class, but my class absolutely know that our space is absolutely our space. And we're a total gang together. And it's also huge fun. So One of the things that Nancy talks about is using songs and symbols, and we use loads of songs in my class through the day. This is our lunchtime song. We used to sing that we used to sing that in the class. We're taking it out to the corridor now to remind everyone else that it's lunchtime. Are you ready for lunch? Elton John's their famous top hit. That sort of thing of singing together a silly song. And you know, you might derive it, but actually that sense of bonding, they're singing with such passion, they've even created actions for that thing. Are you ready for lunch? It's kind of awesome. They created their own symbols. They generated that. And it's really good to use stuff like that. It's trickier to find the type of the song, because they do look every time on the screen. It says love, it says love. No, it says lunch, children, you're reading love. In jokes, my last class, my old school, was called 4L. So we called ourselves 4L Muse, which amused us, and everyone else thought we were idiots. But of course, we were happy, and that was our theme song as a class. And it wasn't jolly jolly or putting on a smile, it was absolute warmth, and they sung with passion. And I'm not saying be a singing, dancing, performing monkey, because the children can see the difference between performance and demonstration and passion, and they can detect it and admire it, I promise you. This is something I came up with this week, and it's really nice to be back in the classroom and doing stuff like this. They had a few jobs and they loved having jobs, and the TA kept on adding jobs to this job tag, and I thought, this is ridiculous because they're desperate for jobs. Let's give them all a job. So this is the job wheel. So there's 28 jobs around the edge, 28 names, and this is 2 pieces of laminated circles. And every day I turn it around and they get a new job. And it works brilliantly, especially the one mugs, which is Sophia's job to remind me that day that I haven't taken my mugs downstairs. And at first I was suspicious of that until I realised I get to tell the teacher. That's fantastic for being on time. This worked brilliantly, and this has worked already straight away in making them feel part of the classroom. We had jobs before, now they've all got a job. They all feel they've got further purpose in the class. I love personalisation. On eBay, you can get stickers, personalised stickers, for like £2. So you get the children to design the stickers, design the pictures. People who don't use it on one second unit. Stickers are fantastic, and I do love them. I think that the less you give them out, the more value they have. They're like the rare cards or the top cards. They're £2, and they're such an easy win in terms of this is personal, this is just for us. I started this half term, which I discovered at my old school, pencils and pencil. So we've got through with a rate of knots. This school, I did the old IKEA thing, with the big coats, filled it with short stubbies. They would lose their pencils every single day and kept on saying, I've lost my pencil. And my TA professor, all the children pencils, put a label, sticky label on pencils. How long do you think they last? She was so proud. I said, bless you, a day. So we started the pencil literature chart. It's really simple. Every single child's name on this list. If they ask for a pencil or are seen looking for a pencil, they get a dot next to their name. They don't get a pencil literature prize. This is the pencil literature prize. I'm giving them a pencil. The irony. You've got a pencil. I'm giving you a pencil. This is £5. £5 for a class set to have personally. How exciting is that? How exciting for me is that? I'll get confused if I know it's a pencil. This is something I did at my previous school. Talked about managers an awful lot, and I thought it was crazy that we were talking about them a huge amount and not sharing them with the parents. Hopefully the children would go back and talk to their parents about. So we had about 12 core values, and over the summer I put together a little book I've got my hand there for perspective, which not that that's much help with a child's like hand. There's a small book, and I sent it to all the children. Now, how often do children actually get post? How often do they get post? The last 3 pieces of post I've got are from utility companies telling me that they're going online. There's never exciting post anymore, is there? So as a child to get something through the post from the teacher you're going to join was fantastic. They had questions and ideas in it. I had buy-in from the parents from day one because they got what our class were about and the value it was. It cost about 40p to have printed. Not for a whole class set. Yeah, 40 times 30. So this is my classroom board, and I've got the LO on the board. We have to. I'm at the first school where we have to write the LO in every single book, every single subject. Something I'm. Yeah, it's not something I'm a big fan of, to be honest. We could call it 2 minutes of wasting time each lesson, but we don't. We call it the Adele, because I'd say the hello, and they'd go, it's me. And so and now it's called the Adele. Yeah. So I say to the children, write your Adele in the books. And that sort of stuff, it's silly and facile, but also really, really unites us and makes us think, yeah, we are part of this together. And it takes away the sting of having to write something off the board before you start learning. I try and get them to write it at the very start of the lesson, it's not a mistake, because there's nothing worse than, okay, you're ready to learn? Ready to learn? Can you copy this from the board? Then you get, where's the ruler? Underline the date, please. It absolutely dampens down everything. These 4 things are really, really important. And we've learned so much today about this concept has been a thread through every single talk I've been at today. And I think this is what we do really, really well. And it's really nice to take stock and speak to our colleagues and our friends and think about what we do in teaching. It's really important to reflect on these as well and make sure that they are visible in our classroom. Because sometimes we can get lost by the big jazz hands things in the class, but actually the small things that we do make a huge amount of difference. This is something, Jaws for Learning, I don't know whether you've heard about it. It's a new thing that's been trying to trend. It's one of my favourite films, and you ask someone to describe Jaws and they'll talk about a shark, or the arm, or the girl going there. And actually there's a little scene, there's a pivotal moment in the film that you probably miss, and yet it's beautiful, so I'm going to play it to you now.
Basically.
If he hadn't had that motivation from his son, he wouldn't have fought the shark at the end. He wouldn't have won. These pivotal moments are really, really important. And I'd just like to finish with some 3 hours of musical theatre. I'd like to finish with a story that happened to me this week about modelling, how important that modelling is, because if we model that more than trust into children respond to it fantastic. A little boy in my class, 2 weeks ago, his dad said he didn't want to see me anymore. children's centre. And we were doing poetry performance, and I was sitting at the back of the classroom. And he came up, and this is the bit like that.
All
right. He came up to the front, and he was trying really hard to learn his poem. And he forgot halfway through. He got really, really upset. I said, come back, let's practice it, and we can do it again. He was the only boys that tried to memorise his poem. And I put my hand out to take his book when he came back, and then that hug. That's what's important about it. That's the difference you can make. Okay. No, that seriously is it.
It's good. That's not suited to the job. I don't think we ever imagined this. Dad and I just said one night, we start that primary rocks chat, so we did. I don't think we ever believed, guys, that this is what we have today. It's amazing. It's just, it's the real truth. Everyone I spoke to, basically, I was wondering, is it people once? People on Twitter and Facebook that say, I want to leave my job, I want to leave, it's shit. Is it shit? I said, look, tell me something from hours ago. You know what I always say? The kids are good. I like the kids. And I thought, so do I, but some mad stuff's happening in school at the moment. I saw this afternoon. The job here, you want it, Skills Partnership Academies, chief executive, £160,000. The good news is, school or education experience is not considered essential. That's going to be one of your bosses. They're expected to go to school before, they're getting paid $7 us. That's the shit we've got to find, isn't it? Then I thought, Simon, we need to go to the pub, don't we? We're going to the pub. So, one of my favourite beers is Brewdog. And this is the Brewdog charter. Just like you said, it could be like Nugget. I thought we could be more like Brewdog. This is the Brewdog charter. It says, we bleed craft beer. This is our true dog. I believe teaching. When you put the open, I don't teach every day. But we believe those kids, we take on those kids, those children that have been abused, the children that have done something for the first time, the ones we've come up to. We believe them, we go home and say, no, I got it like that, it's terrible. I can't believe it. This one, we are uncompromising. If we don't love it, we don't do it ever. And that's what it's starting to do. If we don't like something, we just say, this is rubbish. Ofsted don't want that. Why am I marking any colours? Why have I got to give out homework, collecting and make sure they do it? It's shit you don't need to do. Just stand up and have that backbone against it. And I love this one. We blow shit up. That's what we need to be doing, isn't it? We need to be going in classrooms and saying, look, there's been an earthquake today. Where's all the furniture gone? We need to go find it. Something's on the field, something's in the car park, something's in the head office. Let's go find it. Let's get it back from us. Let's be ambitious, be relentless, and take risks. And we are geeks, aren't we? People say, oh, the grammar's too hard. But I'm going to sit at home reading through grammar shit. And let's learn obsessively, then share evangelically. That's what we do today, isn't it? We do that. We've learned things, now we're sharing it. And if you want to give the next part, you've got to specify his answer. I said, I think I've got a really good talk for the next time we watch. Without us, we are nothing. We are Brewdog. And I want to say that without us, schools are nothing. We are teachers. I want us to be more dogs. You see that I go too. Let's go dog mates. Be more Brewdog. Let's do these things in school. I've just got a few people to thank today. Okay. Sorry. Thanks to all the speakers. I don't think you know this. Speakers are all volunteers there. That's why I sit through the tech part. Shout, get a Lucas, Tim Head, Train Andre, who also does numerous shapes, so I don't know if I have. And if anyone's got something ready to see tonight, you've got to go to the hotel.
That's twice now, Rob.
Hang on, I've not finished.
Yeah, keep going on about the room. Then I want to share one with me.
And most of all, we said in a team, there's 10 of us. Sophie Memo was actually on most of the work. Sophie Memo is Sophie's school, so she's organised the school, organised the German Catholic, organised lots of other things as well. So Sophie Memo did pass the Oh, you've said my song, look. I like the song to play as well. Yeah. So I'll just tell you about it. We'll find it. So anyway, briefly, I was in the conference with this week and I played this song. Brendan Roses from Pride. Is it from Pride? Yeah. And they stand up and sing Brendan Roses. And so I showed it today to keep the Lockyer. And it stood on the stage crying my eyes out. I couldn't finish speaking. I just stood there crying at the people. Like, looking at all words and helping. Well, come in for it. Yeah, come on, the song, sorry. This song, Brendan Roses from Pride. This poem was written in 1911, I think, for women who were working. It said, let's play it. It's a sticker.
Go on, Dave, you don't do it. It's a sticker. It's a sticker. Stick sticker.
Right, we don't need to, this is my message. We don't have to steal the whole of education out of the test that we get to. If we give the children the bread, if we give the grammar, the reading, but the stuff that they remember is the roses. I had a teacher called Mr. Leader, and he made me, in year 4, what's the teacher? And I remember the stuff we used to do here. It was the fun stuff, listen to the cricket in the sun on the radio. I remember that. Going outside in our church and table on the grass and doing our work, I remember that. All those type of things, that's what I call the roses. So give our children the bread, but also give the roses too. And I thank the real David Cameron, he showed this video about 2 years ago. It's amazing. I'm not going to cry, I've watched it a few times since. So just think about that as this plays out, please.